I have to say that as a rule, I'm not really a cartoon aficionado. The sight of Tom chasing Jerry round and round to exhaustion, or The Simpsons, which frankly bores the pants off me with its American so-called humour, or even the cartoonization of real people, such as the animated version of Mr. Bean, all leave me cold. But there are notable exceptions. I used to love Snagglepuss the lion. Exit stage right was his catchphrase. Whilst Bugs Bunny, what's up, Doc, was always cute. And the third animation? Sylvester the cat. Of all the Pussycat cartoon characters, he was always the most lovable and was a feline with attitude. Even his arch-nemesis, Tweety Pie, though he got on my nerves something rotten, wasn't enough to dampen his fans' enthusiasm, who agreed with Sylvester that Tweety was totally despicable, just as Tweety was always opining, I tore a puddy tat. Alas, it's not recorded if Tweety Pie ever came to Beijing, but if he did, there is one restaurant that he would surely have had to flutter past pretty quickly. I'm referring to Meow Hotpot, or Mao Jua Huo Guo, which translates as Cat Scratch Hotpot, near Jiaomenshi Station on lines 4 and 10. This restaurant knows a thing or three about marketing. No matter whether you love or hate cats, you cannot fail to be captivated by the overall theme of the place. Cats are everywhere. Most of the cats are the lucky Chinese waving cats, a takeoff of the original Japanese idea, one has to admit. But there are also cutesy furry felines greeting you near reception, even if some of them do look more like sheep. And many are doing what cats do best of all, sleeping. Despite its name, the Meow Hotpot doesn't do just hot pots. In fact, the restaurant is split across 2 floors, with hot pots being served downstairs and barbecues upstairs. My friend Jan, who is a definite dog lover and really isn't into cats, thinks my culinary knowledge needs raising, and she leads me to the barbecue floor. Cats are everywhere. Not a single piece of wall space is allowed to escape unblemished. Go to the restroom and wash your hands, I'm commanded, only to discover the playful pussies never leave you for a moment. Before we've even begun, it's clear that this is going to be a messy affair. Aprons are handed out to protect shirts, dresses, or whatever from flying food. On the table is a charcoal burner, which is regularly topped up by a charcoal waller doing the rounds. Naturally, you expect the plastic plates to be pussycat themed, and you are not disappointed. And soon the raw materials arrive. Pork, beef, greenery, various spices, not to mention something which probably originated at one time from a cow. All of it goes in stages onto the sizzling barbecue plate, while extra side dishes of cold beans, something gelatinous soaked in orange juice, nuts, and various other odds and sods keep the palate keyed up as the meat is cooking. Each table has its own air filtration unit to suck away all the smoke being given off by the barbecues, while, lest you forget where you are for just one moment, an array of furry felines stare down at you from the mirrors in the walls. The marketing department has come up with another wheeze. If you just happen to mention the fact that you're in this restaurant on WeChat or Weibo and show you're posting to one of the waiters, you'll get a free badge. Yan duly obliges, and then cons the fool Yuan into bringing a couple more badges for her Laowai guest. He duly obliges. Another nice touch is that once the bill has been paid, they mark your table with a bottle of table art, and you are left to sit there for as long as you wish, with no one hassling you to move on. Oh, and did I tell you that today is a Tuesday? It appears that on Tuesdays you get a 15% reduction on the bill. Perfect timing. We wander down the stairs, where on yet another wall there are good luck notices stuck up there by happy customers, a bit like you see in temples with prayer notes. A portly pussy waves us good night as we stagger out into the night air. Even the illuminated sign over the entrance seems to be waving us goodbye. It's not long, however, before the inevitable question arises. If the barbecue was as good as it was, what about the hot pot portion of the restaurant? Another date is fixed, and this time Jan brings along her little sister to accompany us. I've long ago stopped wondering how many big sisters, little sisters, and other sisters Jan has. Some are cousins, some are friends of friends, some are daughters of parents' friends. Nan is in the latter category, I believe. We head for the downstairs restaurant, which has an almost identical layout to the one upstairs. Once again, the marketing department has come up with yet another bright idea. This time, if you send in a picture of a pussycat, you can get a free badge. Many people have done just that, and their offerings grace yet another wall in the establishment. The aprons handed out this time are classier than the ones upstairs, and they even give out phone condoms, branded of course, as everyone knows you cannot sit through a meal without checking your social apps on a regular basis, and heaven forbid that your smartphone might get spattered with hot pot broth. Now, most hot pot restaurants I've been to provide two-sided cooking pots, creamy and spicy. But Meow doesn't do things by halves, and we have a quadruple option of mushroom, spicy, tomato, and normal pork broth to cook things in. Of course, there's the normal sesame paste to which you can add a variety of additives to make it taste just the way you like it before dipping in your carefully cooked tidbits, while attempting not to burn the inside of your mouth by rushing the process. Beef and lamb, of course, are obligatory, although pig's intestines make an interesting alternative. You can also order tinned luncheon meat, which goes well in this kind of hot pot, not to mention a plate-load of mushrooms, which are yummy in the extreme. If you're into tofu, then try slices of tofu straight from the freezer, which stops the stuff falling apart in the broth and gives you a reasonable chance of being able to pick it up with chopsticks. All the vegetables are locally sourced, except for the chilies, which are imported from Sichuan, and look pretty fresh. Sliced courgette and pieces of lettuce go well in the hot pot, as does Popeye's vegetable, as Jan refers to the spinach. And all the while, flasks of multicolored broths are standing by to top up our hot pot. If I'm strictly honest, this hot pot isn't the best I've ever had, and certainly isn't up to the standard of the upstairs barbecue, but it's good all the same, and the atmosphere in the restaurant is a joy to behold. We once again stagger out into the night air, having eaten far too much as usual. The pussycat reclining on a spoon knows just how we feel. I taught a puddy tat? More like 100 of them, I think. Treaty Pie would have flipped.